Hi YouTube! My name is Naomi Welch and today is my very first cooking video. I'm making apple cinnamon French toast today, so I'm very excited for you guys. So we're gonna start by just making our French toast mix. So just follow me over here. I'm gonna show you all the ingredients you'll need for today. First thing you're gonna need is 2 white eggs. I recommend that you use brown eggs because they make the French toast have a better texture. You're gonna need a cup of sugar, white sugar. Then you're gonna need a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. So I'm going to show you guys basically how I add all the ingredients in. Sanitation is important too. Okay, so I'm going to just drop this in here. By the way, this is again 1 cup of sugar. The mixture isn't getting thick, something ain't right. So it should be a little, see how it's barely dripping off the whip? Okay. So then I'm just gonna add my 1/4 cup of brown sugar. So your French toast mixed with the egg and the sugar should look a little like this. Should be kind of like a caramel. All right. So now it's time to flavor. Add like about a 1/4 cup of melted butter in here. Alright. Don't be putting a lot of butter in here now because we're using a lot of butter today for our apples and stuff. So now it's real creamy. It should look like this. Alright, so we're going to flavor it up with some cinnamon. I usually don't measure the cinnamon because you just gotta have a good eye when it comes to seasoning. So you don't want too much, but you don't want not enough. Smell this, it smells so good. Cinnamony. I don't know if that's a word. It's gonna be a word today though. Alright, so with my vanilla extract, I only added like a drop in there. Usually I don't measure that either because you just once again have to have a good eye with measuring the vanilla extract and cinnamon. Okay, so now our mix is flavorful, it's buttery, we can eat it like this, but at the same time we don't want it to be thick, we want it to be soupy. So this is the part where we add our milk. Now the difference between grandma's recipe and mine is that I'm using almond milk. Almond milk is a little more healthier. If you want to use regular milk, that's fine, but the whole point of this recipe is just making it a little bit healthier. If your stuff ain't soupy, then it ain't right. So, as you can see, it's barely dripping off the whip. That's how soupy you want it to be. So your bread can just like get a little coating, soaking. Now I'm just going to soak a few parts of my bread for you guys, and then we're going to move on to the apples. Okay, so we're just going to let this soak over here for a minute. Alright, so now we're going to move on to our apples. So first you want to just shave your apple. I already did the shaving part. Our goal is basically to just cut it into like little dices. I'll show you guys how I got to that point. First, you're going to take your knife and you're going to cut the ends off of the apple. So now, if y'all don't have enough money, it took y'all everything to get these apples, you can just cut around the little tips of the root and you can save that as well. So now we're gonna just cut around the core of the apple. We do not want the core. Alright, so then you're just gonna split that in half. It depends on how big it is. This is like my favorite recipe. I think I made this recipe up one day. I was trying to make some apple pie and we didn't have the ingredients. So I'm like, let's just have some apple French toast. And I'm like, what? Apple French toast? I was like, yeah. It's good to try different things. You guys are gonna see a lot of different quirky recipes with me. So we're gonna have fun. So those are my apples. They're ready to go on top of the stove. Now we're just gonna put them in the pan right quick. I'm gonna get my butter. You wanna kind of put it on like a medium high. Then I'm just gonna take some of my butter. Now for the apples, I'm gonna put like a lot of butter because it just gives the apples a little more flavor. And then I'm gonna drain the apples. Alright, so we're just gonna wait till that kind of melts down a little bit. You don't want it to be all the way melted. You just want it to be kind of, just let it grease the pan a little bit and still keep a little bit of butter inside of there. It's getting hot. We're gonna season these apples up. So first you're gonna take your cinnamon. And again, you just have to have a good eye. With the apples, I do not recommend you put a lot of cinnamon because we already have a lot of cinnamon in our French toast. So we're just gonna do a little sugar around these apples like that. With the sugar, you want to have a good eye as well. If you like your apples kind of sweet, go for it. If you don't, put only a little sugar. Now this is our vanilla extract. I only did a drop because again we have some of the vanilla extract already in our French toast mix. Alright, so we're just gonna let our apples cook a little bit. Stir them up a little bit. Now we're gonna get started on our French toast. Gonna use some pan to spray my pan down with. I recommend that even though we're using pan, you still want to kind of use a little bit of butter because the butter just gives it a little more brownness on top of the French toast. Here our apples are sizzling. Wait till this pan gets hot. If you guys want to do the icing or if you just want syrup, doesn't matter. With the icing, I'm going to take some butter. Kind of want a lot of butter. Then we have sugar. This is like my favorite. Add the most important part of this, which is our milk. It doesn't matter what kind of milk you're using. I'm just using almond milk. So I'm just going to dab a little. Like I'm going to show you guys how I do it. Watch right here how I'm doing it. Now you just want to add enough milk, not too much. Now while this process takes so long is because we don't want our icing to be soupy. We kind of want it to thicken up a little bit so it can actually become our icing. And our apples look like they're almost ready. I kind of like my apples to be soft, so we're just going to give that a little time. Now, an important fact with your icing, you do not want it to be on a high temperature because it will begin to become chunky because of the milk. You want to keep it on a low temperature. That's why the process is also so long. We're going to get to the French toast process. Our bread is ready. So we're just going to place our bread in the pan. Make sure The bread is coated and it gets all that flavor. The goal is to make the French toast back to the bread form that it was at before you put it in the mixture. That's how you'll know that the French toast is ready. Kind of keep your French toast like on a medium, high, lowish, because we don't want it to cook too fast, but we do want it to cook in a certain amount of time so that the bread won't get too soggy. Turn down our apples. Let's check on our French toast. Now you want to kind of be careful because the bread is kind of sensitive at this part. Very delicate, so we want to flip it kind of very carefully so it won't rip. Let's try an apple to see if it's ready. It's like apple pie. It's awesome. So the apples are about ready. I don't like them to be overdone because they get kind of dried up and hard to chew. So they're pretty good. Guys, so our French toast is finally ready. As you can see, it's back at its bread form. It doesn't look all soggy and stuff, but it is soft. You don't want it to be all the way down melted, you know. And as you can see, I ran out of sugar. Now, anyways, okay, maybe I should do the icing, but I mean, it will take a little longer process. Look until, you know, you kind of got to get a mixture, you know, so I'm saying, because you know, like, you can't be